Contreras is gonna make more than $21 million.
They have to.
Someone's gonna pay him.
Wilson Contreras, yeah, he's
That's
probably right. I don't know. He might be
He's
right.
he's perfect for if you have like a young rotation. I don't know. Think of a young
a 250 catcher though. That's like he looking
think
like
of
he
a young
want JT Real Muto money.
think of a young rotation right now that needs a leader to help guide them.
Guardians.
Every team could use him pretty much.
The Guardians.
Any team like
the Orioles,
other than, like,
not the Orioles, because they got
Guardians is actually
Guardians.
perfect because they actually have the money to spend nonsense on a catcher.
Their second highest dude was Straw, and he opted out, which is fucking good for them.
Because he doesn't even do anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're like, yeah, he play okay. He got in that little fight with the Yankees.
And the
That's what he
Guardians, he's
loves.
perfect.
That's
He's
the only
electric.
empathy I have for the guy.
He's electric. He's a good leader. Yeah, Contreras to the Guardians.
I like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like him and Trey Mancini, that would be two good signings that doesn't break the bet. Doesn't.
And
break
you
the
know
bank
what?
for them,
You know
but
who
would
else?
be good signings.
Tiger Woods.
Carlos Vasquez.
Sixth spot. Like,
dude,
let's
you know
do
who
it.
actually? You know who would be a really good move for them? Like, because it's just a low risk, high reward, like kind of thing. Because he's gonna only get probably like 15 mil. I doubt he's gonna get more than maybe 18 tops. Give Conforto like a 2-year, $30 million contract, and just
Conforto to the Pirates,
fuck happens.
the savior,
and just see what happens, dude. Just see what happens. Because like,
Michael
I'm saying,
Conforto,
like,
the savior.
Because like, if they could spend wisely, oh man,
They
just add
won't.
like six guys in that.
That's
the
sad.
thing.
I might do an MLB The Show franchise and just spend wisely with the Pirates.
Yeah, dude, you might as well. Like,
welcome to the Built Different podcast. Let's get it.
Now, introducing in the top left corner.
oh,
Welcome everybody to the Build Different podcast. We are back, me and the guys, high and inside, episode 11, a lot of episodes. We are here. The season is over. The Houston Astros are world champions. And I am here with my co-host, not so white Chris, Wulfy, Poppy Devontae, who's now your favorite Yankee hater. He was your favorite wife beater. He's your favorite a lot of things. He's our favorite. But here we are. The Astros are the world champs. Wulfy, why don't you lead us off, man?
yeah, Astros are the world champs. But for my opening take, though, I just want to talk about one team though that they might not have been champs, but you know what? Let's not forget about the Toronto Blue Jays. They had a great season this year, and with the players they have, they're rebuilding or they're building something special over there. We talk about like the powerhouse teams like the Dodgers and the Braves and Houston all the time, but they're only a couple pieces away from just getting to the World Series themselves. They have Vladimir Guerrero, Bo Bichette. Their pitching staff's good. Add a couple of bullpen pieces there, a couple more bats, and you know what? They're going to be the next Houston Astros. So that's why I'm going to be rocking the Blue Jays today for this episode.
Wow, you're standing on that? The Toronto Blue Jays are the next Houston Astros?
Oh yeah, they're going to be They're going to be one of the next best dynasties if they keep spending wisely. Like, they haven't been getting that like huge contract out there yet, but with the pieces they have, they did just make the playoffs. Like, people actually banked on them winning the division. And if, say, like, someone like Judge leaves the Yankees, like, that division's wide open. And, just be wise with some of the, like, get, like, someone like, say, like, I'm not saying they need Trey Turner, but say, like, a good guy like that and, like, a couple more guys to that back end of that for the bullpen. I think they're going to be, like, a solid team for the next 10 years.
Ooh, okay, there you go. That is
Especially
a
how they played in the wild
spicy
card.
take right
They were
there.
fucking ass in
Devontae,
the wild
what's
card,
up?
yo.
How do you?
Homie got speared and took like Triple H's knee to his head, and they lost the game all of a sudden. Like, all they had to do was turn the lights off, like they do with the Undertaker, and like.
No, that's why I do agree. They definitely need pieces too, because I mean, clearly, like you just said about the wild card. But the good thing is, we talked about it like weeks ago, how they have these players coming up and doing so well, and it's only been like a few years with these guys being together, and they've already been in the playoffs. So I could see them just getting better from here.
Well,
but yeah, there's my take.
my hot take.
I just left everybody stunned.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
how
was
to go any
deep.
further than that. Like, I think that's the
That
hottest take
was
we're
that
gonna
was
have,
definitely
to be
deep.
honest at this. But my hot take for the day is if we snatch Bogarts, Devers, and replace what's this guy's name? Is it Rich Hill that we lost? I know we're losing Paxton. We just paid Paxton $10 million not to play a year of baseball and just released him right now. That's unbelievable. But watch,
Baldy's
next
gone.
year, we're going to be not just only playoff
Bogart's
bound,
gonna be gone.
we're going to be
We're gonna sign Gene Segura.
the best in our division. You heard it here first. The Red Sox.
The Red Sox
Red
are winning the AL East. Just another hot take live here. The Astros.
Shout out to the
Sweating.
Astros.
Yeah, this is the Built Different podcast, everybody. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, listen, baseball's a wild sport, as you can see from these wild opening takes here. But listen, man, this season was wild. That's my opening take. Is that this season is wild. I mean, you had steroids in the hair. You had Judge chasing the record. You had a man that could hit and pitch, but his team couldn't win, so it really didn't fucking matter. You had old men literally just fucking people. You had old men literally like just dominating the league. It was great to see a 41-year-old bending Philly over. That was great to see. Just playoff madness. All the team, everything you thought, that was gonna happen, just didn't happen. Besides Houston, the crowds were really good. Like the crowds were ridiculous this season. Like the fans for like the Padres, the Astros, the Phillies, especially the Phillies. Sheesh, yeah, baseball is.
Toronto finally have fucking fans.
Hell yeah,
going to their game, and you rarely see fans go to Toronto.
Seattle.
The Mets and the Yankees actually had like some record-breaking numbers this year on some of their TV ratings for their games.
I was gonna say TV ratings as well broke some records. Yeah. But listen,
for the
speaking of the Mets, all this craziness in the season, there was one thing that remained the same out of this great season, and that was the New York Mets, and it was that they shit the bed when it mattered the most.
Basically.
I thought you were gonna say the same about the Yankees.
He went there.
That's my opening take. What's up, Chris?
My opening take is just a quick shout out to the real MVP of the World Series. Christian Vasquez, the real MVP. I'm just glad he got a ring. Glad to see Trey Mancini got a ring as well. But my second part of my take is definitely Red Sox. It's a plea to the Red Sox, and that plea is to please don't let Xandar go. Please, if you do let him go, your backup plan can't be Gene Segura and moving Trevor Story to shortstop.
That's the best field in base.
That's what it's looking like. And
our backup would be this guy.
Just stop being cheap.
Kike.
Just fucking go out there.
Kike, they spoke about they're looking at the trade.
Yeah, but
I think it comes down more if
they're gonna do some stupid shit this year, and I'm gonna be very fucking pissed off. Let's put it that way. I got this feeling that the Red Sox are just gonna just do something stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna be
which is
just
probably nothing. I don't like that's the thing is that if they did spend,
They're
which I'm
getting
not saying
Chris
they're
Sale
not
back.
gonna.
Don't worry.
Well, I'm saying it's obviously it's on the table. They could spend. They obviously have the money, but it would make sense for them to keep Xander. Like I kind of wish like you guys luck on that because it would make sense. Like just get him back. Like he's a good player and you
It would have
obviously
made
need him back.
it would have made sense for them to keep Mookie Betts, but
But that's the
you know.
thing. So it's like, are they going to do it? And that's what it comes down to is like, are they going to spend?
sad. It's fucking
Man,
sad.
for good old free agent.
He had a good point with Mookie Betts. Like, Xander, if you don't remember the year he came up, was 2013. He was the youngest player to play in a World Series at the time, if I'm not mistaken, or like the youngest international player to play in a World Series and then get a ring. So,
How old is he?
ugh.
12.
Xander?
He's 12.
29. He's 30. 30.
I think he was
He's 30
19.
now. I think.
30.
He was 19 when
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
sad.
he's 30. Give him like a 6-year contract. But we'll save that.
Bro, just give him 10 years.
Nah, don't
Call it a
screw.
fucking day.
I was gonna say, don't screw him over.
Just give him 10 years. Call it a day. Like honestly, that's the thing that's pissing me off the most. Is these teams are just fucking letting dudes go. Like think about there was no question David Ortiz was gonna go somewhere else. Like nah, he was just gonna fucking keep coming back. Like in the, just man.
No, I completely agree.
he took a fucking big pay cut, yo. Him and Pedroia took
Yeah, it
big
was like
pay
Ryan
cuts
Zimmerman with the
while they were still
Nationals,
in their prime.
I mean Pedroia,
but he had no
Pedroia to me
choice.
I love Pedroia, but I feel like Pedroia he played somewhere else he just wouldn't have done as well.
Yeah, I can see that. No, but you're right though. It's like because even someone like Xander, like so he wasn't at all the problem. If anything, he was like one of their positives the last few years. So to get rid of that just to have a hole like makes no sense. Like you should keep one of your guys.
I mean, he's the anchor, dude. He's like you trade him, dude. There's the chemistry's gone in the locker room. Like who the fuck is the leader? And then
Word.
JD goes like, nah. Like you might as well just fucking. I
Especially.
might as well
I
just,
don't.
nah.
I don't know how you expect to re-sign Devers at this point. Like if you
Yeah.
let Bogarts go, I don't know how you expect to re-sign Devers. Because at that point, you're basically not showing him that you want to win as a franchise.
Yeah.
And it's kind
you're
of
just
mixed
showing
signals. Because
precedent.
what did you get Trevor Story for?
Well, that's why the
Word.
Mookie Betts thing doesn't make sense.
We don't need a rebuild.
That's why the Mookie Betts
We
thing
do not need
makes
to
no
rebuild.
sense to me because they did that
Nah.
within a year or two of Mookie Betts leaving. That makes no sense to me at all. Like, I get it; it's halfway there at least. But like, if you're gonna dish out like a few $100 million and it's not to someone like Mookie Betts and it's to Trevor Story, like that makes no sense. That's why I don't know if they're gonna do Xander because if they
Pay the man and trade him later if you have to. If you think
Xander,
like
JD, Evaldi, right there, 3 right there. They're gonna.
And I don't see how you can't trade him later if this contract, let's say, doesn't work out or if you still end up losing. I mean, you've done it before. You've had this trade with the Dodgers before. The Dodgers will happily take him off of your hands down the road.
Trade Trevor Story. You trade Trevor Story to the Dodgers. You sign Aaron Judge.
To the Yankees.
You sign Xandar. Yeah, you sign him to the Yankees. You trade him to the Yankees,
Trade
and then you
the
go
Dodgers.
back and you
Look
sign
back.
Judge, and you sign Xandar, and you call it a day.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what needs to happen.
No, that's a
But
hot
it's not
take.
gonna happen.
That's a hot.
It's not gonna happen. I got a bad feeling, a very bad feeling.
So you're predicting a dark cloud over Boston. Oof.
Bro, I just feel like
At least you guys got Jason Tatum.
man.
Yo, Devontae's about to cry.
And what's their
Imagine we sign Aaron Judge, Xander Bogaerts, and we keep Devers.
What's their farm even look like? They don't even really have much of a farm right now, do they?
I mean, our best player is
Um,
Sassis, but I mean,
Carcass.
Casas and the pitcher that they say he's supposed to be like Pedro Martinez. What's his name?
So in
Bayo.
other words, it comes down to are they going to rebuild or keep spending? Are they either going to rebuild or keep their guys and add on more? And that's a
they,
huge.
But we've been rebuilding. That's the thing. We've been rebuilding since we lost in 19.
Chris Sale and
So
Steven
got real
Strasburg are
fucking.
going to keep playing one game a year and jerking off in the clubhouse every other
Which
day.
is crazy to think about. This is like almost 4 seasons later,
Fuck
coming up on it.
Chris I got rid of one of his ribs so he could blow himself. Crazy.
Yo, watch. Like, Steven Strasburg's going to come back next season and be obese. That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the thing
I
next
mean,
year.
where
I feel
is
like we
Jeter
still never going to
Downs?
see him back at like a normal like pace where you said we're going to pitch like a
It
full
sucks
season
because Strasburg's so electric. That's what I hate. And what I hate for Chris
Oh,
Sale is
yeah.
Chris Sale is definitely going to win. I wanted to see him win a Cy Young so bad.
Me too, bro. Me too.
You know what it is too
Steven,
with Boston is that they actually played well at points this year, to where like that division's like, especially if Judge leaves that division. I'm not saying he can't go to Boston. Say Judge is out of that division and the Yankees are kind of back to normal again. They're like not far behind. That's why like if you guys did keep these pieces and added on more, especially with like the bullpen or something like that, like dude, that division is wide open. Like who's gonna stop you?
You know,
Just
you know
pitching.
who has,
Pitching has been our
you know
problem.
who has the number, you know who has the
Because
Yankees
we have
and the
all hit.
Astros number in playoffs? The Red Sox. They fucking shouldn't have sold at the deadline, and just should have made some fucking plays, and we would have been set.
Oh.
But now we're going to
Blame it
this
on Bloom.
fucking off season, scrambling, don't know what's going on, you know. Got too many first basemen. We got Trevor Story, who is just fucking small town guy who can't play in Boston because he doesn't have enough fucking confidence in himself. It's fucking bad. We don't have bullpen. Like, come on, man. You know who they need to re-sign? Like fucking Ottavino. They need to just fucking just.
Nah,
I
not
like.
Ottavino. Hell no.
I
He's
like.
He was
fucking
I
actually
feel
ass.
like he comes back
he
to
was
Red
solid
Sox and
this
he could
year.
be good.
He was
I don't
solid
know.
this
I
year.
I hate Ottavino.
I
Um,
liked him.
Ottavino
but
was fucking
but it kind of
garbage,
reminds me
bro.
of the same thing
For
with the
us, at
Nationals
least.
too. Is that both your teams were the teams that actually beat Houston, and like after that, like you actually both of your teams went to last place after like winning the World Series in the last couple of years, which is wild to think about.
it was necessary.
Several times at that.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
at the end of the day though, like as a Met fan, I would have took that any day of the week, but it's just still like it's crazy. It's like the teams that
This
actually
shit
beat
falls no way.
Houston aren't like even in the conversation for the last like 2 seasons at
Cause
least.
it's
Well, at least
crazy
season because you guys
because
played the wild card last 2 years ago.
to win a World Series in this fucking time and age, you have to give it literally every fucking ounce of every single fucking thing you got, which is I believe
Yeah.
what we got out of some of these fucking franchises like the Nationals. They gave literally every left of ounce of gas they had out of what they had, which is why they suck so badly now. Is because you got these monstrous teams like the Dodgers, like the Astros, like the Braves, like just all these
Dodgers.
monstrous teams, and they keep losing because these teams keep putting so much into it. Like I think the Phillies, they put so much into this one run, that I think they're probably not going to do as good next year. I mean, I don't know. They proved me very wrong this year, but yeah, I mean they were also the lucky sixth spot. So
I still can't
shoot me,
believe they got that far.
shoot me.
Because I
Shoot
even
me.
said like when they even had their no hitter, it's like I said like I wasn't obviously saying they're not a bad team, but it's like I was like oh classic Phillies, but it's like that's how I'm saying like how the hell did they like get to the World Series still? Like I don't understand how they beat the Braves and the Cardinals like kinda, but like oh my gosh, like I'm glad Houston put them in their place.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yo, but if you were the GM stepping into the Orioles or the Guardians, which team would you pick? What would you do? Who would you get? Tell me. Need to know.
My first on that.
Damn.
Do you want to be?
All right.
No, I'd rather you go first. I'm waiting for your hot take.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. This decision was quite easy for me. It was kind of harder for these gentlemen, but it was very easy for me, and I'm going with the Cleveland Guardians, and here's why. It was three things that led me to this decision. But first, you told me what I would do, right? So, first things first. I'm extending Shane Bieber. He's staying. He's not going anywhere. Um, I'm gonna spend some money on free agency. I'm just gonna do a whole bunch of common things that any normal GM would do. I'm gonna help the team win. But the reason why I'm picking the Guardians is because one, I think the Guardians have mistakenly not franchised their top star Jose Ramirez the way they should have. So my first number one reason is I would franchise like a Jose Ramirez teddy bear. That would be number one. Number two is Terry Francona. I mean, I would immediately give this guy a 25-year extension. Give his whole family a private village. Foot massage card that he can just swipe anytime he wants, and he just gets a foot massage wherever he's at. Whatever he wants. And honestly, the third point is quite simple. Who wants to actually live in Baltimore?
That's a great point. Like,
Those are all three good points.
I mean, I don't know how many
But
people want to live in Cleveland either, but continue.
on a
You got
serious
Cuyahoga
note,
Falls.
who I would actually get is Josh Bell, and I want to be a
I like
homer and
Josh
say
Bell.
Aaron Judge. I want to be a homer and say Aaron Judge just for the hell of it. But just
I
to
mean,
be realistic, Brandon Nimmo. So, yeah.
I like both those.
No, that works
But
definitely.
the Jose Ramirez teddy bear idea, I mean, come on. They're missing.
I could see it. I could see it. Why
They're
not?
they're missing
Like a
out big
big one.
time. Big time. Cleveland. I made you guys a lot of money next year.
I actually was gonna take the Guardians too, but now that I think about it, I'm gonna take the Orioles. And
I
the
was like,
reason
now
why
that I
is,
think
like,
about it, fuck Tom. Fuck him.
yeah, I'm just gonna do a little counter here because the Orioles had actually like such a surprising season that they only missed out on the wild card by like a few games. Maybe it was like 5-4, something like that. Not too many. They even actually did better than Boston, and that's no shot at Boston at all. It's just showing you how, like, with the talent Boston had, they even were a little bit better. With say Judge gets out of the division, we talked about that in some opening takes too. Toronto's obviously getting better. Rays just always a little bit scrappy though. I don't think that's going to last too much longer unless they get some contracts. But if the Orioles dish out and get some, veteran presence, say like a Jock Peterson for like a DH, I think Mancini is going to come back, someone like that. Get some of these pitchers. Doesn't have to necessarily be a Jake DeGrom, though a huge impact player like that is something that would turn them like completely like into like the playoff picture if they did get like a Judge DeGrom. I don't necessarily think they're gonna, or I would do that as the GM. I'm just gonna get like a bunch of like guys like Bell maybe for first base if I don't get Trey. Jock is like a DH. Maybe get someone like Brandon Nimmo out in the outfield. I would take someone like that instead. Wilson Contreras, I don't need anymore because Hadley we have behind the home plate. What I would probably get is maybe like a better third baseman. I don't maybe like a Correa. Move him to third base. Maybe like a 3-year contract. And then, just at least get into the wild card because we saw it with the Phillies this year. You don't need too many fucking wins just to get in. Just, get into the wild card and just go from there. Orioles dream team. I'm going to take the Orioles.
Orioles.
Yeah, let's go Orioles. we're only like 10 wins away from 90. 90 something. I think. What did they finish with this year?
I just
Like
the
82,
Guardians
88,
were
yeah.
one game away from facing the Astros and being a much better
Facts.
challenge for the Astros than the Yankees would have been. Meanwhile, the Orioles were in fantasy land of what if, what could have beens, and we'll sees.
Oh, I'm not saying
Because
it's not like
for all we know, the Blue Jays lock down the division next year, and we're not even really talking about this. Because the Yankees, honestly, the Yankees had this division on lock to a point where no one was really talking about it at all, and then they kind of just opened up the door and let the Rays and the Blue Jays catch up, and then they let them back in. But
By the way, we're also
It's,
talking in fantasy land here too, because I don't really see necessarily like any of these teams really spending like another $100 million. But I'm taking it with
I don't know the Orioles,
the idea that
the
I'm the
Orioles
GM and my
GM
owner
said,
will let me.
the Orioles GM said he's going for it. That's one thing we got to watch out for.
They actually there was an article that came out the other day. They said they're in the conversation like Jake DeGrom. So if my idea of an impact player like that, like it gets
Baltimore getting Jacob DeGrom is crazy. That would be wicked.
Because they have
Jacob
their
DeGrom
pitching
gets
staff
like
was
fucking
decent.
DeGrom gets like he gets shot after like a fucking hangnail. No, I'm just kidding. Banana soda sounds like something you'd have in the hood of
like,
Nebraska.
Dude, like what? Like, have you ever had a banana Gatorade? Like, it's like no.
good. The one
just
that's like really good.
A carbonated banana is just crazy.
I can't. Right here. I definitely have never had anything similar. Like, I don't even think I said like something that liquidy and carbonated banana. No, I don't think so.
And a glass bottle too. They're putting liquid banana in a glass bottle? That's crazy.
It's Jamaican.
Okay. Now I want to try one.
I'm telling you, man. Don't sleep on it. It's got to be cold.
I was going to say, I'm going to try it now. All of a sudden, it's going to be like the most fire thing I've ever had.
Beef patty. Or you can get like the veggie ones. They're good too. But then you get the cocoa bread. Wrap it around the patty. And you drink it with the banana soda.
Yeah. Yo, Chris has some fucking dreams,
I was gonna say,
bro.
between this and the banana tortilla,
we gotta hit some fucking parlays. We need you guys to fucking subscribe and view the podcast, so we can have banana soda and then pay for my hospital visit and life-saving surgery. Gotta be the GM of one team. Who are you gonna be? Gun to your head.
Keep my loyalty to the Guardians of Galaxy. I grew up with Cleveland Indians fans. Until it became no more. Now they cease to exist. I love the stadium. Whether I've never been to it in real life, I want to see a game. Playing there, MLB Dynasty is always fire. You saw how close they were this year from facing the Houston Astros and possibly just getting swept the same way the Yankees did. But that's a team that's just well on the way, man. Like the performance they had in 2017, right? Or was it 16?
2016.
16, right?
Yeah, it was 16. Yeah, it was 16.
7 games. Wow. Beautiful.
Wow,
and they didn't even have like the best team like that. Like, that's just a team. You give them a couple players, a couple good pitchers.
One thing I didn't give them enough credit on is their manager too. They do have a fire manager.
Terry Francona, man, I love that guy.
We need him on the mic more. That dude is so fucking funny. You could sign JD Martinez.
I like that.
DH. See, the DH hitter.
That's a perfect idea for them.
They need.
What's up, Chris?
I like him.
To me, the only thing that stood in the Guardians' way was they didn't have timely home runs. They need because they hit. We all know they hit very, very well. Like, what was it? 6 or 7 other dudes finished above 275 for the year. Like, all they need is just fucking home runs.
Yeah, after the Mariners. The Mariners just picked up anybody and just fucking did whatever.
Yeah,
Justin
I,
Upton.
why
Yeah.
not?
The Astros have won the World Series. The series is finally wrapped up. The season is over. The playoffs, a wicked playoffs, one of the craziest postseasons I think I've ever witnessed. One of the craziest seasons altogether that I've ever witnessed. Wolf, why don't you lead us off with your thoughts on the Astros winning the World Series? You know what? What's up, man? Crazy, crazy shit.
Yeah, no, dude, it it they're doing things that like it's just wild because they've only been in the AL for about 10 years, and they already have multiple World Series now. They're just constantly winning that division. They are just basically cakewalking. It seems like through a lot of these playoff series. Um, but what's good about them, from their point of view, is these guys that are going to be around for a while. It seems like they're going to keep guys like Bregman and Altuve on that team. They have Jordan, Tucker. Pena was great in the World Series and pretty much all the playoffs. Their team overall is just solid. You know, everybody even joked about, oh, they lost Correa, Springer, you know, that rotation back when it was Greinke and Verlander. It's not going to be the same. Like, they're going to fall apart. And it seems like they just got better. And apparently this year they had a clean year with the World Series, no cheating. So take out the cheating, add a bunch of these new guys in. They, like, Framber, they had. Uh, the other guy's slipping my head right now. Vasquez, I think, was the other guy right now.
Javier.
They had Verlander. Obviously, didn't pitch great in the playoffs, but he's still there. Like, that whole team, top to bottom, was just dominant, and they're not going away anytime soon. It's not like, you know, that's it. You know, like we joked about with the Boston Red Sox and the Nationals. Like, they just went all in and like kind of that was it, went to the bottom. Like, dude, they won it, and next year, it's almost like they're betting favorites. I could just see them winning it again.
Yeah.
They're that good. It's like right now, if you look at their roster, it's almost like they, you know, just Judge going there. They don't even need Judge. Like, they could just add like a Nimmo. Actually, a Nimmo would be perfect for that team. Add Nimmo to that team. You know, maybe just a couple bullpen pieces, like maybe a Chris Bassett. Verlander, I think, is going right back to there, so they'll pretty much have the same rotation. But they don't need much. Wilson Contreras, maybe, just to give some improvement of like hitting behind the plate, because Maldonado's basically just defense. But it's almost like they don't even need to get much better. Like, they're that good already. And, you know, with any prospects coming up, I don't know how much they have there. Pena seemed to do really well. Like, that team is solid.
Devontae.
Do you think the Houston Astros are a dynasty?
I think this one kind of. It's hard just saying it just with two, but I think two kind of does it. At least in such a short time.
I
say with one more. Yes.
they are.
Yeah, it's like just about there.
One.
If I mean, it's not even a matter of if. Like, they're most likely going to make the playoffs again next year, and you know, you pretty much see them put up a fight every year that they make it to the postseason. And next year will solidify half a decade of them being, you know, on such a crazy ass run recently. 4 World Series since 2017, and they've already nabbed 2. They're already, you know, they're one step away from really solidifying themselves as a dynasty.
And
But
yeah, they're like, and they're not going away. Like, you can make the argument like the guys they have, they're going to be there at least for the next 3 years.
especially
I don't
with
know,
Dusty
man.
Baker.
I
Dusty
don't know.
Baker it's been on the fountain of youth. He's just gonna keep drinking that juice. Motherfucker's gonna be there till he's 100 years old.
What's up, Chris?
They've only won like 2 out of 6. It's like saying that like LeBron James on the Cleveland Cavaliers was a dynasty.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, he won.
So,
Like,
you know why?
I disagree in one side of the thing, and one side of it, because it's like, yeah, you know, from Chris's side of things, you know, yeah, 2 World Series titles is like, okay, how can that be a dynasty? Then on the other side of the coin, it's really hard to win a World Series in baseball because when you got teams like the Braves losing,
I was just
well,
about
when
to
you
say
got
that. It's
teams like the
hard.
Braves losing to the Phillies, it kind of brings retrospective to everything. And realistically, when you think about it, the last team to win a couple, and to have the same kind of core together, I mean, I think of the Giants, the Red Sox, um,
But overall,
the Cardinals.
they're 2-2 in the World Series,
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
Yeah.
Cardinals.
They are, but when you think of
and
that
Just a
and
run
division,
dominant.
and
who do you
they're
think
they're
about is gonna?
I think you got to
You
give
already
credit.
expect them to be so good. Like
Yeah,
before the season ended, however good the Yankees did, at the end of the day, everybody was saying, "But well, they're gonna have to meet Houston. Can they do that against Houston?" And it's been like that the last couple of years. Same thing last year with the Red Sox,
I,
upsetting the
I
Yankees, beating them. But can they
I
beat
think
Houston?
I think if Houston wins next year, I would call them a dynasty. But I think with everything that with the cloud they had over, I just feel like, they're 2-2. Like I get it. It's very hard to get to the World Series. I understand that. But at the same time, like
I also
I don't know.
I
I just
also
don't.
think they're a dynasty because they cheated. I also think, and it's like it's
I
a
mean,
crazy thing to say, but they're always going to be infamous for that. Like they're always going to be really, really popular for
that's a
that.
good. That's a good take.
Like
I like that.
they're gonna be popular and always remembered, and I think it honestly makes them a dynasty. I think it kind of boosts the popularity of that one ring in a very negative way to the point where I don't really necessarily count it,
Boy,
which is why I personally like this ring for the Astros, and I'll dig into that when it's my turn. But I don't know. I think it's a dynasty because of that reason also. So. But I also get your point too, is where I think if they win another ring, then I think it's fully set in stone that yeah.
solidified. No, of course.
And as of right now, do you see? Obviously, trades need to happen, but let's just say kind of things pan out the way we expect them to with trades, without any hot takes. Do you see them not being the AL team in the World Series next year?
Me, I mean,
I guess just all you.
to
Or
me, it
save
all
it for you.
depends on what happens if free. But I mean,
There's too
I,
many good free agents right
I don't know.
now.
I just think
Too many good free agents. Too many.
That's the thing. It's hard to.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't say that right now. Like where all the teams are right now because there's too many good free agents and too many good people on the trade market. It's gonna be crazy. Like who knows? We might be talking about the White
I still
Sox
feel
again
like
next year. The White Sox might make a ridiculous splash. They might get aggressive. I could see it.
so. Let me ask you guys:
For the Mariners.
if the Dodgers go ahead and win the next two championships, are they a dynasty?
I think if they win another one,
If they win two more or get there,
Yeah,
I think if they win another, they are
I
because of
think
they'll have to win
how
two more.
often they've just
They've gone back to
yeah.
back, literally 10 postseasons in the last 10 years. All they need is just a ring. Like the complaint about the Dodgers is that they build all these teams.
they still for
Only
me it's just you
just a
still
bad
haven't won in front of
players.
your fans. What are you doing, you bozos? You got all this talent for what?
I think they need at
Right.
least two. I think they need at least two because I think that 2021 is tainted. It's only being 60 games,
Everyone plays.
so I think they would need at least two from me. I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's why it's almost like 1.5 at this point if they got a next one.
Well,
I
for
mean,
me, when it comes to the Astros winning the World Series, I thought we got the ending that we should have. It was dominant as it should be. I love Jeremy Pena. I thought, that kid, it's good to see these young players doing so well. It's very refreshing to see the league in good hands. Javier, I've been big on him all season long. Chris knows I've been betting on that guy insanely all year. Love that he got his shine. This was a cool Astros team this year as opposed to other years, in my opinion. Verlander redeemed himself. The classic story of the old guy just coming in and just doing old guy things. I'm glad the Phillies didn't win. The Harper curse lives on. Bringing a title to DC. I'm glad Harper finally did something in the league playoff wise. That was cool to see, I guess. Shame on the Mets and the Braves and the Dodgers. Fuck all you guys for even letting the Phillies get that far. I think it.
Hey, it wasn't my fault.
I think it was embarrassing to baseball for you guys letting the Phillies go get no hit in the World Series. I mean, let's be real. I think if any of you guys get there, we don't get that no hitter. But hey, history. We'll take it. Whatever. But honestly, I think it's big props to whoever runs the Astros. I still question why they even had to cheat, but it's honestly at this point it's unreal how good they are. Their pitching, hitting, scouting, development, their health, their significant others. I think they're good. They're all right. It's kind of like what you guys already alluded to. Houston and Texas, they're in some decent spots right now, but Houston, it's overwhelming right now. They're overwhelmingly good. Especially if Verlander's just going to continue just being good. He doesn't have the Max Scherzer shit going on. I think he's going to be just fine.
I guess even to piggyback on that Verlander comment, it's crazy too that he actually is probably going to win the Cy Young this year, and he just had that surgery. So to have like a big surgery where he missed the whole
that
season,
man lives such a good life.
He missed 2 seasons.
He lives such a good life.
He didn't pitch for 2 years.
He got to take 2 years off and just chill with his hot ass wife with all of his millions, and then just get up off his couch and just go fucking make people look silly again, win a Cy Young, win a ring, and just be 41 years old. And
people weren't sure if he was even going to come back.
And now
they were like, I'll take a 1 year.
And now he's wanted by probably
that surgery is probably going to give us 3 to no more than 5 more years of Verlander, to be honest.
I say if he doesn't get injured, you'll at least see him for... You know what I think it's what's going to more stop him isn't even as much as like if he's still pitching like a 3 ERA and he's healthy, I could see him doing. It's more of like what the Astros are going to do, because I don't see him going to another team at this point. To be honest,
because if he does, he's going to the
Washington Nationals.
And like, why would you go to any other team at this point? Like, clearly you're pitching well there.
He would going to the Yankees
4 times in 6
Any
years.
player going to the Yankees right now, like you'd have to hate yourself.
The thing about the Yankees is, at this point, it's almost like not an attractive destination, because clearly you see what their fans do. They haven't been spending money wisely. If they don't keep Judge, like that's a huge downfall.
I sit here and I'm Aaron Judge, right? And I carried this like massive load on my back. I have like 17 million cracks in my spine. And I get to the finish line. I completely burn out. I do horrible things in the playoffs. I get booed by the people that I thought loved me. Okay, I rest, I hibernate, and I wake up, and the first headlines I see are the Yankees are super interested in bringing Anthony Rizzo and Josh Donaldson back. Like, what the fuck? That's the first 2 things that are on the top of the Yankees' fucking mind right now? Like, what are you fucking doing? Your grandson Yankees are fucking stupid. What is... This is nuts.
It's to the point where like it's mind-boggling that like they could look at the last 5-6 years of baseball they've had and say we're a better team without Judge. Like it's like, no, you're not. Like he's basically the only reason why you guys got as far as you did this year. So if you take him out of the equation, like it's if you take him out of the equation, you have to completely change your team's dynamic. Where now all of a sudden you need top starters, and you're gonna need like guys like Trey Turner and like 3 to 4 more bats. Like Judge literally carried the downfall of Donaldson. He carried the downfall of Hicks. Like it's you don't have even the space to not take Judge. Like you need Judge back.
It's I feel like it's not really up to the Yankees at this point. If it's really up to Aaron Judge on where he wants to go at this point. Not saying like every team he can go to any team, like just knock on their door, but like I don't know, like you gave him no reason to want to come back.
None.
You gave him, you know what I mean? Like you made him fucking go through the entire year, didn't give him extension, like, and then your fans treat him like shit, like it's
So what's up,
bad.
Seth?
And then, like I said, at the deadline, I like the moves, but at the same time, it was still, why not get Castillo? Why not get Juan Soto? Your team was doing really bad. Why didn't you make at least one of those big splashes? I mean, because I liked Montas. I liked the idea of Benintendi, but it's just you're.
I
It's a
completely
shame.
I completely agree because
It's
they
a
actually were talking
shame.
about this the other day on the radio, and I heard it. But that, why didn't you get Soto? Like, give me a legitimate reason why they didn't get Soto. Or prospects? Are you kidding me,
I'm glad. I love the
dude?
prospects we
Like,
got. I love the
but
prospects we got.
but it
I'm
makes no
so
sense
glad.
because like if you're someone like
But
the Yankees, like they were first place in the division, they've clearly we even talked about it. I think in the summer we talked about them facing the Astros. That's probably what it was going to be, and that's what happened. So you knew months ago that that was probably the series it was going to come down to, and you thought your team was okay. You thought your team could beat the Astros. Hell no, dude. None of us predicted the Yankees to beat the Astros. So we knew months ago they weren't going to beat them, and they didn't upgrade. They're like, oh, we have prospects, dude. Take Soto now because also you have him for a couple of years, so it's not like it's a one and done situation. And now all of a sudden you're in win mode within a month, not 3 years. It's like it makes no sense. That's why I'm glad like a team like the Padres just did it because even if they
well,
didn't win, at least they tried.
well, real quick, Chris. You never gave us
On
your
the
thoughts
Astros
on the
winning. I
Astros.
mean,
Yeah, sorry, we got a little sidetracked. Good combos.
Yeah.
I think
No, we're good.
the
We're
the one
good.
thing about the Astros that is impressive is Valdez and Javier. They're both fucking free agents in 2026, and they're already pitching at an elite level. My one biggest takeaway from the postseason, all in all, now that the season is over, is these fucking fans, probably Gen Z fans, they gotta stop accusing pitchers of cheating. Like, stop being sore losers. Like, come on. Two times, two people got pitch accused of cheating. Like, I don't know. Just cut it out. Just cut it
Especially
out.
when they did
Like,
it all year. It wasn't
they
like a
got the they
surprise
It's
got
not gonna
scenario.
stop, but it's not gonna stop. Probably gonna see it more often.
I don't know. Like I like it though. I mean, it's just like it builds the intensity. It builds the it's passion. It's good, man. Like I don't know. I like seeing Buck Showalter go out and embarrass himself, and then Musgrove be like,
not.
"Fuck you."
I,
It's
I,
just
do-
like it's fucking great.
I do
I
love the
love
drama.
it. Cause like I agree, like I thought it was a dick move by Buck Showalter, but at the same time it was like it was great. It was great drama, and who knows? I mean, for Showalter, that's like the only move you have left. Hey, maybe he is cheating. Maybe you just
I
discover some random shit. And
Yeah,
but my thing is, what happens
he's
then? Like,
disqualified.
what if he did
is
cheat?
He's
Like,
taken out
what
of the
the fuck
game.
disqualified.
even happens?
Well, the good thing
Like,
about the Mets, though, at least they
yeah, but
backed
like
it up
they're
with
Game's
still
like
winning.
over.
they didn't do it like the inning or two earlier because they wanted to get the analytics and to see if there was actually proof. And the only reason they went out at first because there was spin rate up like 30%. But like at the end of the day, clearly it was just him just
Dude
being
had his
super
stuff.
on. Yeah,
He had
but the
his
thing,
stuff. Come
but the
on.
only thing is why I at least with Musgrove like I'll give that one a little bit more than the Phillies one because Musgrove, like, he had a good season. It wasn't great, but like with what you said, Chris, like, dude, those guys had like almost Cy Young seasons. So it's not like that was
That's
like
what
a really weird one. Like Musgrove was kind of like he was good, but not great this year. That was like a one hitter.
Yeah, but Musgrove is also that kind of But Musgrove,
No,
he's
no,
given
I
those
agree.
performances before. Like he's given those one-off performances where he's
Yeah.
absolutely like
Which I agree. Which I'm
destroyed
not one
his
sitting here,
opposers.
because there's Mets fans still now that think he cheated. I'm not one of those, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like, at least with those guys, like, dude, they're just crazy good, crazy good.
I mean, yeah. Also, you know
4
what
years,
goes
though.
with
Wow.
Abreu and Presley, man. No runs given up in the postseason. Like that was huge for the Astros run too. So
Yeah.
I did like that part of their run.
And it's like if you're the Dodgers, the Mets, the Braves, even the Yankees, you have to look at what the Astros did this postseason, and whatever it is they did, you kind of just have to take notes or whatever you got to do because it was literally just a good team, just carrying over the success they had and just doing good things in the postseason. And whatever they did, however they prepared, whatever mojo they had, they just did what they had to
Correct
do,
me
and
if I'm
everyone else shit
wrong.
the bed.
Didn't they only
And that's
lose 3
what it
games
was.
the entire postseason? They only lost 1 to the Mariners, right? They didn't lose.
What they lost two. They lost two to the. They lost two to
I
the
think it was only
Phillies.
1
They
to the
swept the
Mariners, right? They
Yankees.
lost. It wasn't 2.
Who, Houston?
Did they sweep the Mariners?
No,
I
they
thought
swept
Houston,
them.
Houston went undefeated until they lost to Philly.
Yep.
So they did sweep the Mariners. Oh crap! I thought they lost 1. Damn. So they
Nah,
lost
you
2.
thought they lost game
No, they.
one, but then the Astros came back
They came
and
back,
beat
yeah.
them.
Okay, so they lost 2 games the entire postseason. 2.
Exactly. How many games were they
That
winning before the season ended?
they
But
just. I
man,
think it was just about 100.
yo, but this season was. I'm just saying, yo, this season was crazy. I think this season was exactly what the MLB needed. Just so much drama, so much
It's funny seeing the villains
just
win
amazing
sometimes.
things
It's like
What we
happening.
I
need to
don't
see
really
next year,
dislike them as much, but
we need to see the fall of the Astros. They lose the division. The Mariners win the division, and the Mariners win the World Series. That's what
I'd
we need
like.
to see next year.
Dude, the Mariners winning like the division or the World Series and like something where Ken Griffey Jr. is like celebrating somewhere.
I guess just
It would be
you
pretty
kind of just
epic.
gave me.
But yo, Edwin Diaz got signed. So the Mets so the Mets
Yeah,
started the
no, I was dude.
offseason by they signed
Yeah,
Edwin Diaz. You know, it's kind of a message to the league that they mean business. So Wolf, you know, why don't you start us off? You're the Mets fan. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you feel?
yeah. So I'm actually beyond
Of
amped
course
that
you are.
happened. I know there's that small margin that seems to be saying it's a big contract. I think it was like 102, 104 for 5 years. There's even an option for a 6 year. But let's be honest, like, this is exactly like what we wanted with Steve Cohen, is to keep our guys around, to give these contracts out when we need them. Do I think Edwin Diaz is going to be the best closer in baseball for 5 straight years? I'd be lying if I said yes. But even if he can give me like 3 solid years, 4 solid years would be nice. I'm not even talking like a 1-something ERA, even if it's just like in the 2s, like just being good enough, like like high 30s saves would be nice. I like one thing that someone else said too. Even if he has 1 or 2 good years and 3 shit, but he gives me a World Series, that'll take 2. So, and at the end of the day too, like we have Steve Cohen that's proved so far for 3 straight years he's willing to spend. So even if this contract doesn't like work out towards the tail end, it's not one of these things that's going to hinder us in the future that we've seen so far. So like, there's like no reason for me to like not like this contract. Like, I wanted to keep Diaz. Plus, now you have an important position locked down for 5 years. Like, I'll take that any.
I'm gonna keep this.
He was the best closer in baseball.
I would say this year you can make the argument he was. But I don't think, like I said, I don't know if that's going to be like something that would happen like for 5 years. Give me like top 5 for the next 5 years. I'd be happy.
I don't know.
Top.
I'm just gonna say something simply that I think it's just too much money, too much of a deal for a reliever. I'm not being a hater of the Mets. I don't believe in deals like this for relievers unless it's a fully proven closer, which we don't really have in this league anymore. Someone that's, year in, year out has a fully proven track record of 5+ years consistent closing. Like we don't even have Kenley Jansen doing that anymore. Um, I mean, for me, when it comes to Edwin Diaz, I love the year that he just had. I love that now he has an entire, parade in New York, with the trumpets and everything. But it's just too much money for a reliever, especially one that the fans were booing not too long ago. So that's where I'll leave it.
I think it's the years.
I mean, yeah, if it was 2 years, a lot of
We
money,
look at
I feel like
someone
I'd be
Liam.
okay. But the fact that it's 5, I don't know.
Well, I'm saying, like, look at Liam Hendricks, because I think recently he got that contract. It was like 4 years, 74 mil, something like that, which is really only like 6 years, or it's like 4 mil off a
Yeah.
year of what Diaz is getting right now. So it's like it's just more of that, like, it's the size of it that's kind of scary. But at the end of the day, too, like, looking at from Diaz's perspective, like, at the age of like 29, like, are you gonna like take a 3-year deal and then hope you get another one at 32?
Well, yeah, I
And
mean,
try to
take
max
whatever's on the table for sure. But on the Mets side of things, it's like, be aggressive. But was anyone offering Edwin Diaz a 5-year contract? Was anyone gonna jump out at him? And like, you guys could have gone away
No.
with a 2 or 3 year, like, solid offer.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone probably tried to.
I
Give
mean,
him more
the only thing I could see is
But then
if
at the
like the
same time, now
Yankees
we're
got
also
stupid and like threw like a 4 or 5 year deal at him. But at that point, I would have just let him go. But more.
so I'll get. Here's actually a choice then for you. Now that you bring it up, because it's a good point. You're just say your teams are in it in the playoffs, right? And you want Edwin Diaz. Edwin just got about 20 to 21 mil a year for 5 years, right? Since you wouldn't want to give him that contract for 5 years, so you give him 3 years. Are you giving him 25 to 26 mil a year for 3 years?
Nope.
See, that's the
Not even
problem.
close.
It's like no win scenario.
You know why? This is why.
But I don't think he would take that. That's the problem too. But what's
look
up, Chris?
at a guy like who I think was the best closer in baseball last year. Clase, Class A, whatever you want, Emmanuel, Class A. This dude in 2027 and 2028, the Guardians have a 2-year club option for those 2 years at $10 million each. And if we talk about a guy who's been the most I feel like he's been over a year and a half. He's been the closest we have. Not calling him Mariano, not calling him K-Rod. He's been the closest dude that we have that's been consistent for a year and a half. So we'll call it, for 500 days. So I feel like there's a big overpay. Like, that's a lot of money. A lot of money.
But I'll say two things. First off, I agree with you with the fact that, like, if someone made that argument, that they like him more, that's fine. The only reason I actually went with Diaz, because I actually had Clace 2 in my fantasy league, but Diaz had like the most whiff rate, I think it was, of any reliever ever in the history of baseball. Plus his Ks were like way more. Clay's got in a lot more like situations for getting saves too, so that's why I can't hold like saves numbers specifically. But I can see anybody taking either or. But also too, the reason why I can't say that completely is because if he say he was a free agent right now, like going into this postseason or into this off season, dude, he's getting 20 mil a year. There's no way he's not. He might even get more than Diaz, to be honest. He might almost get like 20. Someone I can almost see giving him like 3 or 4 years, 25 a year. 3 years, 75 mil. He would probably get on the open market right now.
I just feel like for a closer, like I mean, besides Hader, because Hader came back and was good in the postseason, but like I feel like once a closer like loses that, like say he comes out struggles, you know, and he loses that spot, then you're just stuck. Like, and he's never, I feel like once a closer just gets banged up and like not banged up like injury wise, but like they get beat up a little bit or go through a big slump, that slump just could derail the whole rest of their career. And I feel like if you're gonna depend on him for 5 more years, it's a long period of time.
I tell you one thing though, and I do agree with you. I would actually like to hear the report. I don't know if we ever even will, but hear what if the other teams were trying to offer him, because I guarantee you them giving him 5 plus even that 6 year option. I guarantee you someone was probably knocking at the door with 5 years.
I hope the legend lives on. I like him back in the Mets. I think that's a solid deal. He's bringing a lot of the hype back to baseball. Motherfucker came out with a WWE entrance. Like, who the fuck does not want to see that? Like, I hope somebody fucking decides to come out with a mariachi band. And they're just like, it's crazy shit. Like, make baseball fun again. But he doesn't seem like he's gonna get any worse from here on out. Like, you could tell he was made for the jungle. When they needed him, they brought him out. He did what he did, even though they brought him out when they didn't even need to bring him out against the Padres.
Yeah,
He still held it down. So I honestly don't see him getting any worse. Like, let's put him on like Spider's Hack or some shit like that. Let him talk to Justin Verlander, and probably get like another 8 years, great years out of him. But I don't know. Baseball keeps changing. It's getting quicker. He might need to add like another pitch to his arsenal. But beside that,
if he had like a changeup, he would be.
That's what has always scared me about him is he literally only has 2 pitches. So just
I tell you one thing though, it's that at least I'm happy they did it now, because like I said, he set the records for like most like strikeouts to batters. Like it was like basically 66% of the batters he faced he struck out. Like every 2 outs is basically strikeouts. Like get it while the kettle's hot, man. Because like I said, I don't expect 5 years to be good. I'd be shocked if they even kept him for that 6th year. But just give me like 3 dominant years and I'll be happy, or at least 2 in a World Series or something like that. Like
that'd be fine.
I'd be like, dude, even if he gave me like if they won the World Series next year and he threw out the freaking 1, 2, 3 strikeout 9th, and then we're like only in the playoffs the next few years, and he's like a 3 ERA pitcher, I'd still be happy, to be honest.
All right, so boom, it's free agency time, fellas. Honestly, free agency for me, it's always a funny ass time of the year, because this shit's just funny. I mean, Carlos Correa, we all wondered where he was gonna go last year, and then he ended up on the Twins on one of the most irrelevant deals of all time, just to be back in the same spot this year. So my question to you guys is, where do you guys think Carlos Correa is gonna go? My opinion, and I've said this on a previous podcast, I say he's going to the Red Sox because I don't see the Red Sox signing Bogarts based on what you guys say. I think that they're going to get Carlos Correa, and I think we're going to see Carlos Correa become a Red Sox legend. 6 years, $180 million.
See his infamous fucking Gucci store fucking.
He won't get paid more.
I don't even think he'll get paid that, to be honest.
He wants to get paid. That's why he opted out of.
Bro, if he goes along, if he goes along with wanting to get paid more than that, he's gonna get like a 3-year deal with the Pirates this time.
Bro, it's guaranteed he opted out just so he could get paid more.
No, but I'm saying like he's gonna get 30 mil. He'll get his bag.
Fucking.
Dude, I'd be honestly shocked if he gets.
He's gonna go to the Nationals. Why the fuck are we not talking about the Nationals?
I don't even know who would pay. Like, it would have to be.
I'll get that jersey so fast.
Like big
I'll get that. I'll get that same day Amazon shipping where the truck will just come fucking sailing through my fucking living room and fucking deliver that fucking jersey to me. Hell yeah!
The guy doesn't even stop. He just fucking throws it out the window.
It just fucking exits my living room.
But
Where's Correa going? We talked about basically everybody else.
You
We just
just have to go to the. You're gonna have to come down to the city to get that at that movie
Right?
store.
I don't see Correa like I don't know. You know what it was because I was trying to look at teams that are close to the World Series and the Phillies just being at the World Series, and a lot of these teams don't actually need shortstops. Like Carlos, at first I joked about him going back to the Houston Astros, but they have Pena and he's been good. I think the Phillies are going to stay with Stott there because he's like been an up and coming rookie. Unless like he goes to the Braves because now they're going to need a shortstop with Swanson not being there.
bro.
There's a lot of teams that have like shortstops.
I would film myself eating an entire 12-pack of hot dogs if he comes to the Nationals.
Here, one take.
If they want
One
to,
Right
take.
here first.
they should. Why not too? Like they could.
We
do
need a
some-
hero.
Like, but the thing is,
Low
too,
key, I think the Yankees will snatch him.
I was trying to think about like the Yankees or the Dodgers because now they need shortstops, but I just don't see like. First off, I don't think he's going to go to the Yankees. I think he hates the Yankees. I don't think he's going to have like the culture to like. I don't want to say culture, but like I don't see him fitting in with the Dodgers. But I actually do see him kind of fitting in with the Red Sox.
He fits
Kind of like
perfect in New York.
sticking against the Yankees too.
Gonna be a Red Sox
Like,
legend.
he goes
He's the
perfect with
next
the
Red Sox
base.
legend.
You know how? Yo, Carlos Correa will be the best troll New York has ever had. Every time he will come, get booed, whatever, hits a bomb, and he just be like, you know what time it is? It's Correa time. Come on now.
You know where he would actually fit really well
Japan.
In terms of making that team a lot better. Though I think their prospect is a shortstop, the one they just brought up, so I don't know if he would play third base to play there. But dude, he would actually really help on that Orioles lineup.
Remember, he
That would
almost.
be like a good piece because they lost Machado.
Yo, remember how close? Well, I don't know how close he was, but remember that rumor how he almost signed with the
I
Orioles
think he
last
stays
year?
in the American League.
My bad. My thing just froze up. What'd you say?
There was that rumor before he signed with the Twins that he was talking with the Orioles.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
with
right.
the
Yeah,
Yankees, too.
because they lost out on Baez, so like he was kind of in that mix too. But like no, like that's what I'm saying. Like he would actually like be good with like a team like that. It all depends too. Like, is he gonna just play shortstop? Could he play second? Could he play third? Actually, just saying that quick too. Like, I can actually see him playing with Baez too. That would probably be like a cool combo.
I was going to say
Ooh,
that right now, too.
Wow,
But-
the Tigers. That's sneaky. That's
And
The
just,
Tigers, they're like, they will pay him. And you got to remember, AJ Hinch is there.
wow. They all
Oh,
died
yeah.
in Detroit together.
Oh,
That's
dang, you just called it now.
Okay.
You just that's your hot take.
wow.
Yeah, and you know what's actually just sticking with that division too. Like I said, if he does shift to third or second base because they already have a shortstop, but he would actually be like a cool combo to see with like Tim Anderson on the White Sox. I could kind of see him running with that team too.
Yo, Chris, what do you think?
It all depends who's going to spend money.
I think it goes to the Braves.
Ooh, that would be filthy.
To the Braves.
He's gonna my
That would be.
And then we see.
He'd go off.
Over Swanson?
There's
I
no
think
way
we
though.
We see.
I'll die.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not the Braves? They got money. One of
I-
those little team-friendly contracts they gave out. They need a guy. They need a guy like Correa. That's who they need.
It'd be such a
'Cause
betrayal.
I don't think he leaves the American League, in my opinion. Unless, he
Yes.
goes. Well,
He can go to the Rockies.
To me, he seems like an American League hitter.
Bro, the Braves,
like
they got
being
a
in American League.
they got a Filipino call center. Like they, yo, with the
Yeah.
wages they got going on over there, man, they are underpaying their workers, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Woo!
dude! That would be such
Hey,
a
Nike
betrayal.
Factory.
Oh
workers.
man,
Imagine not resigning Dansby when you just won like 101 games and went to the World Series and won that. You don't
They'll be
resign
okay though.
Dansby.
They
Dude,
will
that
be
would be like the
fine.
biggest.
Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Would you rather? I mean, there's they. I mean,
I don't
I
know.
also like Trey Turner going to the Braves. Like they got
Same.
money. They got money, and they got fucking an appealing ass team. Like if you're a free agent and you put the money aside, like where would you want to go? Like why would you not want to go to the Braves? Like
By the way, I
that's a
don't
fucking
disagree with you. I think like they would fit there. I'm just meant like I don't see the Braves necessarily not
Well,
resigning a guy when they were good with him.
I also think that it could cause an issue down the line because then you have all these underpaid players that are playing really well, and if you don't win the championships and you pay all these other guys like 20, 30 mil to come in and then you guys start losing, then you got Acuna and Albies and all these other guys getting underpaid, and you got these other guys getting paid more than them, and it could cause some issues. Could be some
I think they're going to try to
yeah,
replace
true.
fights
Ozuna,
on
to
the
be honest.
playground.
They're probably,
That's
they're
true.
probably looking for Ozuna like to get rid of him like and fill that spot.
Dude, is Ozuna,
Yo,
like,
imagine
after
Judge
this
goes to the
contract,
Braves.
he's done.
Yo, have Judge go to the Braves. Not only does he break the the record, and then he can go there and break Hank Aaron's record and
Jesus.
just be like the new home run king.
Jesus.
There you
How
go.
much he
Wow.
had?
Well, since you wanna
Judge?
break
No,
hearts.
Aaron.
What's up?
Aaron.
What's up, Sex? I couldn't hear you.
So since
Guys.
you want to break hearts, Wolf, DeGrom, we're hearing some very conflicting stories that Jacob DeGrom is he's starting to talk to some other teams. He's not that interested in coming back to the Mets. What's up, man? What are you thinking? Where's he going? Where's he gonna end up?
So I actually do think he'll be a Met unless he gets a ridiculous contract. Like I don't see him like becoming a Brave. Like if we give him the same deal, like I think he will. I think he does actually want to stay with the Mets. Um, but I can see like a team like we talked about Texas before the episode. I don't know if Texas is going to be willing to give another huge contract. They just give out two, but I can see like these teams that are like kind of rebuilding / almost right there that really need that pitcher and just spending like an insane stupid amount to get him and him like accepting that. Like I don't think he's going to be a Dodger. I don't think he's going to be like a Padre. I don't think he's going to be a Brave or a Philly or anything like that. But I don't want to count like out like I said like a rebuilding team like Texas or Seattle or something like that. Like I think he might actually want to get out of the limelight a little bit too with not being in like a big city like New York or Los Angeles, or something like Boston or something like that. But if he does stay with the Mets, and we're the ones to keep him, I think we're talking about maybe like a 4-year deal. He'll probably want more, but I think it's going to fall around like a 4-year, maybe like 4 years, like 38, 42 in that range, $1 million a year, which is kind of stupid. Like when you think about it, especially with his injury history. But let's be honest, like that's what the open market's going to be for him. So say we take like 4 years, 160 mil. It's about 40 a year. He'll probably want something in that
That's
range.
crazy. But you know
I
what?
know.
I'm going to throw a scenario out there. It could be a crazy one, but it could be a hot take. I could be way off. But there's a team that I think, DeGrom, he just played for the Mets, a team that gave him no run support over these past few years. We always sat here and we were like, oh, when are the Mets going to score runs for Jacob DeGrom, right? So I think there's a team that can score a lot of runs for Jacob DeGrom, and there's a team that has a pitching rotation that needs just one guy that can
Oh God, I know who you're talking about. I
that
already know
needs
who you're
one.
about
I
to
think
say.
they just need one piece that can kind of lead them. They'll obviously need some bullpen pieces, but they need one guy at the top of their rotation, and they'll get the run support. I think the Toronto Blue Jays, they should make a huge run for Jacob DeGrom, and I think it would make them filthy, as long as he stays healthy, of course. But I say, I I
I
think
was
I was
thinking,
drunk last night when I put 4 years, 80 mil. But I say on a 4 year deal to the Toronto Blue Jays.
if they didn't just give Gosman that deal, I would say that. But you know what? Actually, you just said that out loud, and I was thinking about it. You know where would be a fucking perfect spot for him to go, and it would just be just classic. The Cardinals,
You
because they just lost Wainwright. They have Goldschmidt. They have Arenado. They have the run support. Put him in the Cardinals. Oh my god, dude, he would win like 20
That
games.
Cardinals run support ain't as good as you think it is, there, buddy. It's very similar to the
Uh,
Mets, but
I mean, it's not great, but I'm saying like looking at that division with that team, adding him to that, oh dude, they would be crazy
I don't
good.
know. I just think like with Toronto, you would get like a very young, very a lot of runs, and then you go in and then you have Manoa behind you, you got Gosman behind you, and then I believe do they still got Ryu under contract? Is he coming back after that? After this,
I think so. I think he's there for
you're
a
gonna
couple
get
more years.
Barrios again. Barrios can easily have a comeback year. He's gonna if he's in a more motivated spot. I don't know how much more motivation you need. You're gonna be on a playoff team again. But Degrom at the top of that rotation, I think that'd be sexy, and that's a nice Toronto Blue Jays jersey. Get him out of New York.
I don't know why I don't see him. I don't want to. I don't see him being like a Canadian kind of guy.
He
You
looks
know, it's
Canadian,
just I feel like he's got like a southern kind of vibe to him.
but
But
what's
that's
up,
just me.
Chris? Where do you think Degrom's going?
Yeah, honestly, I think he's going to the Braves, man. I really think so because you said it. You just said it. You said he looks like he's a Southern guy. He's from Florida. He grew up a Braves fan. I feel like the Braves want to make a run at him. The Rangers also want to make a run at him. I feel like, I feel like for Toronto, I feel like they go with a mid-level guy like Evaldi, Corey Kluber. I feel like they're not.
They
I don't know if
got
they got the
they
money
got
to
to get a
chase.
leader. They got to get a leader. Even if it's
Yeah,
Who the
or the Blue
Braves?
Jays, even if it's Kershaw, like they got to get that leader type guy. Even if it's Kershaw, if it's DeGrom. I mean, Gosman, he's a very good pitcher. Don't get me wrong,
The
but he's not the guy that's gonna be like the captain, that veteran leader that's gonna lead the charge. The way they
you two.
the way they just lost to the
Yeah,
Phillies, I don't know.
thing about the
yeah,
Braves, though,
you
the
two.
only reason I'm a little skeptical on the Braves is I'm not too sure if the Braves are willing to dish out another contract right now, like a bigger one like that, because they've tied up a lot of their guys already. Plus, like, because they just gave Olsen that contract too last year. They gave Riley the contract this year. They gave Harris the contract. They gave Strider the contract. They have to get Swanson back. Plus, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't make any team better,
Get
but they
DeGrom
actually
out the
don't
division.
necessarily need like a pitcher right now. Like their staff was actually pretty good last year, so that's the only reason I'm just like I could see it happening. I'm just not saying like it. I don't think it's like a top priority for them right now.
I feel like I feel like like what Saxby was just saying, but you keep him in the division, you take him away from the team that you just snuck past to win the
One
division this
year,
year.
60 mil.
I just he grew up a Braves fan. I feel like they have money. Like I feel like the Braves they got to do something. Still, I don't know if it's a shorter contracts but his contract would make more sense. I don't know. He was a Braves fan.
Yeah, actually, now that you bring it out loud right now with the division, it would actually make more sense for him if he went to the Phillies, in my opinion.
Let's get it.